A story now about a new effort to recognize women in uniform. Folks at the VA in Corpus Christi are encouraging women veterans to be a part of what they're calling their portrait project. The idea here is to photograph the veterans and put together a picture album to share. Our Marissa Cummings has the details.
March is Women's History Month. The VA Texas Valley Coastal Bend healthcare system wanted to celebrate it in some way. That's how the Portrait Project came to be. VA spokesperson Louis Loza was snapping pictures of women who have served in the armed forces to then display them to others.
It's a way of not just saying, but showing how much we appreciate the sacrifice and service that so many women have made.
To go a step further, Loza asked the women to hold a picture of themselves when they were in the military. He said it's symbolic.
Although they may have served and they no longer be serving, the fact that they are veterans stays with them their entire lives.
Joanne Melendez was one of the veterans photographed. She joined the Air Force right out of high school.
My father was a veteran, and so was my sister and my brother. So I just wanted to serve my country.
Melendez served from 1980 to 1984. She said the military offered her amazing experiences, like living in Japan for 3.5 years.
So that was a great experience for me. I was able to go to Guam, Hawaii, Philippines, and Korea. So I was able to just travel and see the world.
Melendez says she didn't join to get recognition, but it's nice that people are willing to take the time and spotlight her and many other women.
Well, I feel honored that they took the time to come out to honor us, and I feel very special.
Starting in March, the pictures can be found on the VA Texas Valley Coastal Bend Facebook page. Marissa Cummings, 3 News.